Welcome to this video. Today I'm going to share with you how I value stocks in the AI revolution. So what is the AI boom? Well, it's a rapid increase in demand for artificial intelligence technology leading to massive investments in AI chips, data centers, cloud computing, and AI software. If we look here in this article, we can see from Grand View Research, we can see the artificial intelligence market is expected to grow from 539 billion in 2026 to 3.497 trillion by 2033 at a compounded annual growth rate, a CAGR of 30.6% from 2026 to 2033. So this market is expected to grow by 30%. So if we pick the right stocks at the right time, then we can expect an average annual return of 30%, which is insane. So I'm very optimistic about the future. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how I find the undervalued stocks. We're going to use examples how intrinsic value really works. And we're going to use these calculations to find out whether a stock is cheap or expensive. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I believe that we are now just at the beginning of the artificial intelligence revolution. And this is just the beginning. And if we can see at the expected graphs, we can see that it's expected to grow, like we said before. And this is a massive opportunity for investors, for long-term investors to capture the growth of this market. Almost every business needs cloud compute and run AI models, and every business is implementing AI. And this is going to stay. It's similar to when internet was invented. Everyone was using internet to make money. Now it's artificial intelligence. So a lot of investors and news, they are basically selling like the fear that maybe we are right now in a stock market bubble and that all these companies are just extremely overvalued. So here we can see the psychology of a market cycle, and we can see that every market or stock goes through cycles. So we have, for example, when everything goes bullish, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, and then it goes all the way down and people get scared, panic, capitulation, anger, and then it goes all the way again. But a great company and a great stock or a growing market will always have higher highs. So even if a market goes through cycles, it will always go higher assuming that it's a great business or the overall market. I personally believe that we are right now in the overall market, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq. We're now here around the stage of belief, time to get fully invested. So there's still a lot of upside to go before we get this whole collapse. So a bubble will form eventually, I believe that, but it's not right now. Right now, I believe to stay fully invested to capture the growth that will come in the next few years. But how do we know whether these companies are cheap or expensive and whether we are in a bubble? Well, if we look here, for example, at Nvidia, we can see we can first look at the ratios, like the price to earnings ratio. We can see it's at 29.84, so pretty decent. Nothing. This is not like a bubble. If the price to earnings ratio is around like 1,000, yeah, then we need to be careful. That means it doesn't make any sense anymore. If you look here at the forward PE, it's pretty low actually at 15.42. The earnings are still expected to grow 47%, which is absolutely insane. I find it almost too optimistic. If we look here at the PAC ratio, very low. Price to sales ratio is more on the higher side. So if I just look at the numbers and I will just take an average, I would say that it's pretty fairly valued. And this is definitely not a bubble. So if we're looking here at the S&P 500 PE ratio, at the price to earnings ratio, we can see it's now at 32, the overall market. And I would say that it's on the higher side, but it's not bubble territory yet. I think there's nothing to worry about right now based on just the price to earnings ratio. To calculate the intrinsic value of a company and use a discounted cash flow model, I like to use owner earnings. And this is a valuation method detailed by Warren Buffett himself. And he basically stated that the value of a company is simply the total of the net cash flows, the own earnings, expected to occur over the life of the business minus any reinvestments of earnings. So owner earnings is essentially what's left for the stockholders. And we discounted all the earnings to present value to find the true value of the overall company. So what did Warren Buffett say? He said Buffett believed the best measure of a business is the cash it can generate for owners over time. So the owner earnings, the modern formula is like owner earnings is net income plus depreciation and amortization minus capital expenditures and minus the change in working capital. So the net income is the company's profit after all operating expenses, interest, and taxes. Then you have depreciation, amortization, non-cash expense, and so they will go back, they will add it to the formula. Then you have capital expenditures, cash spent to maintain, to grow the business. So a lot of these AI companies are spending like a lot, billions and billions of dollars to build these data centers, and also the AI infrastructure is very expensive, and that's why the intrinsic value is lower, because the capex is pretty massive. And also minus the change in working capital, cash tied up or released in the business. So formula, net income plus depreciation amortization minus capex minus change in working capital, that's the owner earnings. So we're going to use owner earnings to discount to present value. Maybe it can sound a little bit complicated if you've never heard of it before, so I'm going to give you an example on what it actually means to value a company. So imagine that you have a bakery and you sell bread, and this is like your small business, and you make $1,000 every single year, and you can operate it for 5 years, and assume the discount rate is 5%. And so what is the intrinsic value of the bakery today? Pause the video, think about it, and then you can continue. So you know the answer? Well, let me first talk about the discount rate. So a discount rate is important because money today is more valuable than money in the future. This is a very important rule when it comes to everything finance related. Essentially, you want the money today, so money earned in the future is not as valuable as money earned today, and that's why we need to discount it to present value. So the intrinsic value of this company is not just 5 times 1,000, which is $5,000. It's less than that because we need to discount rate, because we only make $1,000 every year. So let's go to the answers. So in year one, you make 1,000 divided by 1.05, because it's 5%, to the power of 1 is 952. So why is that? Well, here we can see the present value formula, and it's basically the future cash flow, or in this case the owner earnings, divided plus 1 plus R, which is the discount rate, the 5%, to the power of the number of periods, year 1, year 2, year 3, or 5. So here we can, one thing to keep in mind, higher discount rates or longer time periods results in a lower present value. So let's continue. Year 2, it's 1,000 divided by 1.05 to the power of 2 is $907. So what we earn at the end of the year 2 is worth $907 today, essentially. So year 3 is 1,000 divided by 1.05 to the power of 3. So what we are going to earn in the future at the end of year 3 is worth $864 today. Same for year 4, year 5. So what's the total value? Well, basically you sum everything up. So the total value is 952 plus 907 plus 864, 823, 784. The total intrinsic value is $4,330. So it's not $5,000, it's less, it's $4,330. Because of the rule that we told before, money today is more valuable than in the future. Remember that. Because earnings grow over time, and it's pretty difficult to calculate everything yourself, and that's why I built this intrinsic value calculator. And this is based on the same formula like the Warren Buffett's owner earnings combined with a discounted cash flow. So we assume basically that we basically assume that that a company can survive for like a certain amount of years. We discount to present value, and then we get like the intrinsic value. So let's type in NVIDIA, and then we can find out whether this company is cheap or expensive. So again, the formula of owner earnings is net income plus depreciation amortization minus the change in capital expenditures and minus the change in working capital. So if we type in here, we can see that the growth rate is given like a 47%. This is basically what Finviz is also saying. The earnings per share is expected to grow by 47%. I think that's pretty optimistic because the company is already at a market cap of 4.7 trillion. So it's always, it's actually good if you do a slightly lower intrinsic value, a lower growth rate just to be sure. But never do a higher growth rate than the analysts are saying on the financial website. It's also good to get like a second opinion on a different website, for example here on Seeking Alpha, because the expected growth rate, you can look at the past, but it's sometimes difficult to estimate how it can grow. So here it also says it's like around 45%. So this company is expected to grow fast. So let's round the number down to 40%, which is more realistic. For the discount rate, I put it on default on 7%, but the higher the discount rate, the lower intrinsic value. So the higher the discount rate, the more margin of safety you have. So let's use 10% and a terminal growth rate of 10% as well. So the first 5 years we expect it to grow annually by 40%, and then the remaining 15 years we expect it to grow by 10%, and that's a pretty conservative value, I would say. So let's calculate the intrinsic value and see whether the Nvidia is still cheap or expensive. So here we can see that it's actually very cheap. So the margin of safety is 57% and the potential upside is 133%. So despite this massive market cap of like $5 trillion, it appears to be cheap with an intrinsic value of $454. So the owner earnings are 180.45 billion. And we can see that the total IV is closer to $11 trillion according to these calculations. If you want to learn how to identify great businesses, build a winning portfolio, and prepare yourself for the AI revolution, then I highly recommend to check the link in the description down below. Because in this course, you will get access over 70 minutes of high quality video lessons, and you will also get access to my premium investing tools like the intrinsic value calculator. And so if you're interested, check the link below, down below, and you can start learning today. So going back to the intrinsic value of Nvidia, I like to use the capital expenditures, the average of the last 3 years, because now they are investing so heavily into AI that the capital expenditures become so big, which will decrease the intrinsic value. So by using the average of the last 3 years, you smooth it out a little bit, but the intrinsic value will be higher. And that can maybe, so if you want to be really, really conservative with your calculations, then you can also look at the capital expenditures here on the cash flow statement, and we can see that the TTM, so the last 12 months, the capital expenditures are actually $6.57 billion. So instead of, so we're going to use $6.57 billion instead of the 3.4 billion, which is the average. So let's go back to 6570. So now we can calculate the intrinsic value again. We're going to use a discount rate of 10% to be also more sure. And then we can see that it's still undervalued. So it doesn't matter too much. But I like to use the last 3 years. But if you want to do the latest, which is 6.5 billion, then it's still actually pretty cheap. So that's how I calculate the intrinsic value of a company. But remember, what's more important is whether the company is fundamentally a great company and whether the company has a wide economic moat. So if we're looking here just in technical analysis, I would also say that Nvidia, for example, will continue to go higher. It's the most likely outcome, in my opinion. But of course, it's always important to diversify well. It's much more than just intrinsic value. But this is basically how I know and how I'm confident that we are not in a bubble yet. Of course, this video was just for educational purpose only, but if you like this video and you learned something, feel free to like, subscribe, and also consider becoming a YouTube member if you want to get early access to my videos. You will also get exclusive investing videos, and you will get up to date with my latest post. Whether I am interested or whether I see opportunity, I will share with you first. So with that being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.